Good afternoon, Miss Kristen A. Can you hear me okay? And we can maybe test your sound.
Hi, Kimberly.
Good evening. Andy, let me go ahead and resend that prompt to make you a panelist. So it'll be right there, hopefully. We can get your sound check. There we go.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can
Perfect.
see you with your lovely Santa Rosa background there. Nice.
All right, I'm gonna turn off my audio and video until a few minutes before
Okay,
we begin.
thanks. All right, I think we have a member of our applicant team here, Marcus Griffin. If you want to try a sound check, let me go ahead and send a prompt there for you.
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you great. Sounds good.
I'm glad I came early.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to do the sound check. It's a rude awakening when you discover your sounds.
I know. And between my monitor and my headphones and everything trying to mess with you, it's always good to double check.
Yeah.
Right.
If you want to go ahead and control your muting, then we won't have
Sure.
to go through the prompting back and forth.
Yeah, I'll leave it muted until you tell me otherwise. Perfect.
And if we have Andy Bordessa, if you're a member of our applicant team, you want to raise your hand if you want to do a sound check. Here we go. Go ahead and send a prompt. Want to give that a try?
Oh, there we go. Now can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh,
I was going to say,
okay.
go up by the microphone and see
Yeah.
how you're.
I figured it out.
Okay, good. So if you want to go ahead and keep yourself muted until it's the appropriate time, then we won't have to go through prompting.
I'll mute myself right now.
Good afternoon. We'll be commencing the zoning administrator meeting here in about 2 minutes. Give everybody time to join us at 5 p.m., the official start time. All right, it is 5 p.m., September 7th, and I wish to call to order the zoning administrator meeting. This is a special meeting, and we have one item on the agenda. Before we start with that matter, I'd like to just review a little bit about the meeting protocol. This is a Zoom meeting. Because of the COVID pandemic, the governor issued an executive order which allows us to suspend certain requirements of the Brown Act that enable us to hold this meeting in a virtual or Zoom format. All participating members will be able to voice their comments or add information as if this were an ordinary face-to-face meeting, which we hope to hold soon. To participate, just as in a regular face-to-face meeting, I will call upon you, whether you're project planner, project applicant, or an interested party. And as I said, we do have one meeting item on this meeting agenda, and we'll basically follow that order. We'll hear from the project planner first, and then the project team and anybody else who might want to comment from the public. Today's meeting, the outcome, a decision made today, is appealable 10 working days, full working days after the meeting. And I always have to look at my calendar. The 10th day will fall on, today's being Tuesday, the 7th. It will fall on the 21st, no, the 20th of September. Make sure I get that right. 7, yes, it'll be on the end of business day, Monday, the 20th of September. All right, so with that introduction and announcing the appeal date, let's start in on our schedule, on our agenda. The first and only item is a public hearing for 1885 and 1905 Sebastopol Road multifamily project with affordable housing, and the project is Kristen A. Tumans.
Thank you, Mr. Gustafson. This is Kristen Atumian, Senior Planner, and the project we're discussing this evening is Acme Family Apartments. It's a request for minor design review. And the project site is about 2.43 gross acres, and the request is for a predominantly 4-story affordable housing, multifamily housing project for 77 units. There is a 1-story community building that will face Sebastopol Road, and there will be 130 parking spaces. This is the project location. I believe it was an auto dismantling yard at its previous life. And as you can see to the east, there's a housing development right next door. And this area along Sebastopol Road is changing quite dramatically from what it was in the past, and it's becoming more residential and commercial in nature. The general plan and zoning for the site is CG and R318. So it's got dual zoning and dual general plan designations. However, the multifamily use is allowed by right in both zoning districts. The zoning code section 20-16060 modifies the review authority for certain entitlements. In this case, what would normally be a major design review becomes minor design review because this project is in the Roseland Plan Development Area. It's allowed to be reduced to minor design review as long as the project goes before the design review board as a concept design review, which this project did on February 4th of this year. This is the site plan for the project. As you can see, the clubhouse faces Sebastopol Road. Down at the bottom there, it's a one-story, it's a leasing and amenity building. Directly behind it would be a shared amenity that you can see better in this landscape plan that I'll show in a minute. And the apartment buildings are behind it with parking tuck under tandem parking and surface parking. Here are elevations for the project. You can see the tuck under parking. The original project, when it went to the design review board, featured garage doors. And the design review board thought the garage doors would be a very prominent look. And the applicant went ahead and instead of garage doors, they would be open carports. That would encourage covered parking to be used as covered parking. And we wouldn't have prominent garage doors as you're driving along Sebastopol Road. This is the elevation for the community building. This is what drivers and pedestrians would see along Sebastopol Road. Here's the first and second floor plans for the units. So you can see the parking on level 1. Third floor. And I believe I misspoke. I said 4 stories. These are actually 3 stories. My apologies. It's not 4 stories. Here is a 3D rendering of the project site. So you can see the tuck under parking. You can see the view there of the surface lots and the tuck under parking. Here's a little bit closer view of the community building on the left, the apartment buildings behind it. And you can kind of see the amenity area behind the community building there, just a little glimpse. You can see some of the balconies that the apartments would have. Here's a more ground level view, looking down the project site from the community building. And here's a across the street view of the community building. So this is what the pedestrian, what people would see at a pedestrian level or at a car level. Here is the landscape plan. This is the landscape plan for the entire site. You can see that half circle sport court that's proposed behind the clubhouse on the left. And the area will be landscaped with various trees and shrubs. Here's a close-up view of the sport court clubhouse and landscaping along the Sebastopol Road. If I go back, you can see the trash enclosures are well screened and not readily visible from the street. A another thing to mention is in order to get to the 77 units, the applicant requested a 35% density bonus, and they qualified for that. And that allowed them to achieve the 77 units that they're requesting. And with that, Planning and Economic Development Department recommends that the zoning administrator approve the minor design review permit for Acme Family Apartments project. And the applicant and his designer are available to go through any design details or questions you might have about the design, and staff is also available.
Thank you very much, Kristen. A quick question about the density bonus. It's great this project is taking advantage of that. Has the type of affordability been defined for this project? Very low income?
I can look that up. I believe it's in one of the attachments, but I can look that up for you.
Okay,
I can respond,
maybe.
Christina, if you want me to.
Yeah,
Sure.
you'll have a moment. Let's see. And then to clarify, you mentioned the trash enclosures being well concealed. Those were the ones indicated under the trellises along the west property line. Is that correct? Did I read that plan correctly?
I believe it was the east property line.
Oh, I meant the east. Yes.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Okay. Okay.
I
Sorry.
was making sure the north was pointed in the right direction.
My mistake. And let's see. Is there you mentioned concept design review, and you noted that the previously proposed garage doors were removed and made those parking spaces made open as carports. Were there any other substantive design changes in response to the committee's comments from that meeting?
There were a lot of considers, not shalls. They like
Okay.
to separate their comments that way.
Yeah.
They didn't have any shalls for the applicant. The original design they felt was a little too residential, and they wanted the designer to explore a little bit more modern aesthetic.
Mhm.
The color palette changed to more cool tone. And I believe the cladding on the community, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, or Marcus, the cladding on the community building changed as well, or maybe it was just the colors that changed, but it made a dramatic difference.
Okay, cool. No, I think it's important to memorialize the design review board's comments and how that project changed or not in response to those. So thank you for that. Okay, thank you for clarifying those points. If any member of the project team or applicant wishes to comment, please raise your hand and you'll be recognized. Looks like everyone is on Zoom, and we have Marcus.
Hi, Andy. Thanks for having us tonight at the meeting. I just wanted to respond to the one question about the affordability. This project won an award for the special disaster tax credits that were competed for last year. So it's a typical, what we call 9% project that the overall average affordability is 50%. So it's very low income. 100% of the project is affordable. There's a small component that's at the low income level. So the ranges go from 30% AMI up to 60%. Yeah, so
moderate.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I guess 60% they call low income, but yeah, in Sonoma County, they're pretty reasonably high income. So it does hit a broader spectrum of households. And this project's a large family project. It has a lot of 2-bedrooms and 3-bedroom units to try to house as many families as possible. So that's the basics there. Really appreciate your time, and we're here for any questions.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I said moderate, but 60% would be the low income, very low, right? Thank you. Any other member of the team wish to comment at this point? If not, let's give opportunity for any other member of the audience in attendance that wishes to comment. Please raise your hand and you'll be recognized. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing on this item and get to deliberate with myself. So it's really great to see a project of this quality coming forward and fulfilling a powerful need that we have for affordable housing and utilizing the density bonus. I really like seeing that. You know, the obviously a lot of thought went into the design. I appreciate and respect the team for responding to the design review committee's comments and making adjustments. I have one major question. If I could see the site plan showing the activity area, I gotta wonder if there could be something I might contribute to the project. Maybe you can respond. Okay, I'm just thinking about basketball right now. Would it be better to flip that court 180 degrees so amateurs like myself who might miss the backboard aren't putting the ball into the wall of the building, but rather maybe to the neighbor? I don't know if there's some consideration of the property line. This is a profound comment and question, I know, but maybe a practical one.
I don't know, am I still able to speak or am I don't know.
Yeah, no, please,
Okay,
I
great.
asked the question,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we've crossed that path before, and it's funny, the building, there's a building right up against the property line, very tall,
Yeah.
you know, the commercial building. But we were also going to put some kind of netting there with that exact concern. But we just felt that it worked better in this orientation. But we definitely have to. Actually, no, I hear what you're saying. But in my mind, it's the opposite. Like I don't know if Keith on the line, but I was thinking that the hoop would be against the building side, and we'd be able to put up something that kind of keeps any ball from going in between the fence and the building. But I don't know.
Well, in my power as zoning administrator, I grant you authority to flip it around on consideration. No, but otherwise, in all seriousness, I think what I appreciate is not just the availability of the units. I think more than myself, the tenants will appreciate the space provided outdoors. And it looks like you've paid attention to that. Breaking the buildings up into 3 parts kind of creates nice individual clusters. It's not a monolithic footprint. It really breaks it down in a very human way. So, and the clubhouse at the front of the property is a great transition in massing, but also puts that public face towards the street. I think that's a really good idea. That's a great project. So I hope it's able to break ground expeditiously. And I know there will be people waiting to come in and live there. So I read the resolution. It does memorialize the steps it got to get it to this point, including the density bonus, which I think is important to acknowledge. And it makes all the necessary findings for design review here. And they're appropriate. The conditions are appropriate. And I just would echo or restate my basketball option for you guys. And now I have the pleasure of approving the minor design review as proposed and go forward, build it. Thank you.
Thanks
And
a
that
lot.
concludes.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. We're going to get under construction in December.
Good.
One way or the other.
Well, I wish you all good luck and look forward to seeing it come out of the ground.
Great.
Thank you, Kristen and everyone. And with that, I'll adjourn this meeting at 5:18. Bye-bye.